Alright, in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your song and your markers track. So these are these top two tracks here at the very top of our Ableton template. And so what these are is these are MIDI tracks, but they're completely empty. So there's two clips built into our template. If you zoom in, you'll see there is absolutely no MIDI on them at all. They're completely empty. And so all that these serve is a visual. And so for our first one, where it says enter song name, I'm going to select that clip, hit Command R. I'm just going to type I can't believe and hit enter. So now, so just imagine, if we were really zoomed in, or maybe we had several Ableton songs open in order from left to right. This way we could always quickly read visually, okay, this song is I Can't Believe is this teal blue color. So the same concept is going to go for our markers track, but our markers is actually going to help us differentiate different pieces, different arrangements of the song. So the first thing we're going to want to do is I'm going to double click on this top MIDI track. I'm going to hold down Shift and select both of these. You'll see that two clips are selected, and you also see that loop is enabled. And what that does is it allows me to click and drag both of these clips, and I'm going to zoom out so we see the entire song. You can drag both of these the entire length of your song. I'm going to zoom back in. I'm going to make these the same lengths as everything else. Okay, so now we're going to go back to the beginning. And so now we need to fill in titles for our markers track. So for markers, like I said, they're going to help us visually see our verses, choruses, bridges, all that stuff. We're going to use the guide track that's included from Multitracks, and we're also going to reference the chord chart for this song, which is on Planning Center. I have that opened in Google Chrome. So I'm going to be referencing this chord chart as I title different pieces of the song. So let's listen to the first thing that we hear.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so that's a 2-measure count into our intro. And so I want to actually be able to see that it's a 2-measure count. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select our markers clip, hit Command R to rename, and I'm going to type in 1.2. And then hit enter. So what that tells me, to me that makes sense, that it's 1, 2, and then intro. So what we're going to do for the intro is click here on measure 2 on our markers clip, hit Command E to split, and then we're going to rename this one intro. Now if you remember, this count from Multitracks is just counting to 4.
1, 2.
It doesn't say intro. But we are going to create a new guide track, and I'm going to want it to say intro. So I'm going to go ahead and label it as intro. Let me move that. And so now we're just going to go down, and you can see from the Multitracks guide where the different guide audio plays. So
Intro.
Okay, I don't want to cue my intro twice. Let's see what this one is.
Verse.
Okay, so this is verse 1. Okay, so I'm going to click here. This happens to be measure 10. Command E to split. I'm going to rename. I'm going to make this say verse 1. Then we're going to go to the next one.
Chorus.
Go back to my chord chart. Okay, so this is chorus 1. So what I'm going to do is split, rename chorus 1. So when I go back to the chord chart, because you can see there's a chorus 1A and a chorus 1B. So I think what I'm going to do to get us started is I'm actually going to put chorus parentheses 1. And how I like to use parentheses, parentheses doesn't mean quantity. Like for example, if I put chorus 4, I'm not trying to say we're going to play the chorus 4 times. This is how I would differentiate. Well, this is the 4th time that we play the chorus, but in this case, it's just the first. So I'm going to do chorus parentheses 1. All right, let's scroll to the next one.
Interlude.
Okay, so after the chorus, this is calling for an interlude. Let's see what the chord chart says. So the chord chart says instrumental. And so chord chart wins. So I'm actually going to go ahead and rename this as instrumental. Let's go to the next one.
Verse.
Okay, this is what I'm assuming to be verse 2. Command E to split. Command R to rename verse 2. Let's go to the next one.
Chorus.
Okay, so this is the second time that we play the chorus. So I'm going to label it chorus parentheses 2. Remember, it's not that we play the chorus 2 times, but I label it like this to say this is the second time that we play the chorus. Let's keep going.
Interlude.
Let's go back to the chord chart. This is going to be what I'm assuming is instrumental 2. But I'm going to go ahead and just label this instrumental parentheses 2. So I think you get the idea. I would just go on for the remainder of the song, listen to all these cues, and then label our markers track appropriately.